What is going on, YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So, if you're like me, you're probably sitting there like, well, I'm waiting for new VR games. And if you guys didn't know, on my channel once a month, I typically do a video series called Game Watch, where I highlight 3 upcoming VR games that maybe just niche titles, nothing, no crazy releases or anything, but games that look pretty good and, maybe worth picking up. Well, I haven't even been able to do one of those videos in like 3 months because there's actually no games. So if you're like me, you're probably asking the question, where the hell are all the VR games at? And that's a pretty valid question. And today we're going to kind of go through, actually, I think the reason why we are seeing a pullback in VR games, and I don't think it's something to worry about at all, but we're going to explain that just a little bit in general, both for Quest and PC, and what is going on. So make sure you guys do drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, join my Discord server, and let's go ahead and hop on into it. Okay, so just from a completely, standpoint of just going and looking, you go to your Steam VR tab and you look at upcoming games. We have Warhammer Battle Sisters. That game was not very well received throughout the community. A bunch of random nonsense for the most part, and I hate to say that, people put a lot of time into these games, but let's be real, most of these games are pretty much tech demos at this point. Just as honestly, VR developers kind of getting experience for the future. There's a couple games in here. Ultra Wings, I know people were kind of excited about that one. Outlier, I'm actually excited about this game. I actually did a Game Watch video on it a couple months back. It's coming out this month. I'm probably going to pop a review out for this one. It's a game I'm definitely looking forward to, and it's made by Joyway, who has also a lot of experience in VR. But I mean, just scrolling through this, like, most of these games are just not anything that are going to be worth playing. And, in that sense, also, this is for PC VR. So, yeah, okay. So what about the Oculus Quest? Well, let's take a look at the Oculus Quest and what's upcoming here. And this article was actually written 3 days ago, so we're really up to date here. Green Hell. We knew Green Hell was coming out. Gonna be a decent game. I like Green Hell as a standalone game without VR. I'm sure it's gonna be fun in VR. It'll be a niche title. I don't think it's gonna blow the socks off of anybody, but I do think it's gonna be a good game. Again, Cities VR, already talked about this one as well. It's gonna be a good game, but again, another niche title that is only gonna apply to a certain amount of people. The Last Clockwinder, don't even know what this one's about. I'm assuming it's a puzzle game. Ultimex, I'm actually pretty excited about here. I'm going to throw the trailer up on the screen now so you guys can listen to that a little bit. But yeah, Ultimex actually looks like a decent game. Piloting mechs in an esports type environment where you're going to be fighting other mechs. Yeah, that's always something that's going to go over popular and probably get a decent amount of players. It's going to be interesting. This is one I'm going to kind of follow. But Peaky Blinders, King's Ransom, could be anything. Could be a good story game, could be a short 5-minute, 10-minute experience. You don't know. I'm not interested in this at all. We know Grand Theft Auto's coming out. We know Splinter Cell's coming out. We know Assassin's Creed coming out. That's it. That's all it's announced right now. There's nothing else. And that's like crazy that we're, in March of 2022, we have nothing else. But that's where we're at with the VR market when it comes to games right now. There's nothing coming out. There's no big titles that have been really announced or, dropped trailers for. So that bodes the next question. What the hell is going on with the VR game industry right now? And I think that we need to take a little bit of a step back from all of this for a second and realize where we're at in the VR space as a whole. So let's look at 2018. Half-Life Alyx releases on VR. And I think it was 2018. It might have been 2019. I don't know. My dates might maybe screwed up. Either way, Half-Life Alyx releases. That was, without a doubt, no questions asked, the most advanced virtual reality game that we've gotten to date. And, you can make an argument. I don't know how you can make an argument that just physics-based, the story, the whole game was next level VR. And we haven't gotten a title like that since, and it's been years since that's happened. So that poses the question, what the hell is going on in the VR industry? Well, you look at it as a whole and you have to start to answer these questions and ask yourselves the other questions, right? What's going on with VR hardware? And this is really where it comes back to. The Oculus Quest 2 has blown VR up into the mainstream. But because of the Quest 2's limitations and it basically being a console and not having the horsepower of a computer, games like Half-Life Alyx will not be able to run on the Quest 2. So that's forced game developers into a situation now. I either develop a game like Half-Life Alyx, which takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, put it out for PC VR, and hope that it has the kind of success that Alyx had, which in reality is not, very likely at this point, because PC VR is not as profitable as Quest. And I think that that's the big thing, is that you look at the Oculus Quest as a whole, and you have to understand that as a game developer, I'm about to put all this time and effort into this thing and make a really good game, and if I can't sell it to anybody, then I'm not going to make any profit. There's no return on investment. And I know that a lot of times there's passion projects and all that, but at the end of the day, even a passion project, if developers doing it, spend a lot of time making it, maybe it's their career, they deserve some money for it. So naturally, they're going to try to get it on the Oculus Quest. Well, games on the Quest have to be tailored and pulled back significantly in order to run on the Quest. So I think right now we're in the middle of a slight pullback when it comes to VR games, because I think developers are actually figuring out how they're going to be able to optimize their games the right way to be able to put them on the Quest and PC VR, because that's where the audience is at. If you want to sell a bunch of copies of your game, you got to get it on the Oculus Quest. And that's, and some of the developers I'm in contact with some upcoming projects that I can't disclose anything about right now, but I've expressed to them, especially they're making a multiplayer game, you have to find a way to get it on the Quest, or you will not have any players, and then the game will die very quickly. So it's very important for these developers to get this game on the Quest, and that's kind of why I think we're seeing a pullback, as developers are figuring out right now how they're going to be able to make high quality games that aren't short, 10, 20, 30-minute experiences, because we are littered with that in VR still. Even though we have some great games, we do have some amazing titles, we still do get a lot of 1 hour experiences, and I think people are going to get dried up on that stuff if they've not already have. I know I have. I've been in VR since 2016, and I can tell you right now, if I buy a game and it lasts half an hour, I'm not thrilled by it. Even if it's a really cool, awesome experience, I want something with some replay value. I want something that's going to at least hold my attention, be worth the money I'm buying into the game. And there obviously are a lot of VR titles that are worth it, but not as many as you'd think there would be, considering VR is now mainstream. But like I said, I think no different than the stock market. I think we're in a slight pullback right now, and it's going to pump a massive amount of games coming probably at the end of this year is my guess. I wouldn't say they're being released at the end of this year, but I think we're going to get a lot of game announcements. As for what I believe is in tune for this year, I do think we are going to have a lot of ports this year. I know we have this rumors about Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell and all that, and that's all well and good. I'm sure we're going to get some titles that haven't even been announced yet that are going to be pretty good titles, but I would be very surprised if it's not a year of ports. And I've been saying this for the last couple of videos. I do believe that there's going to be a lot of ports over to the Quest this year. I mean, look at Resident Evil's success. Everybody's talking about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I do really believe that they're going to take more games and port them into VR on the Quest. To be honest, it's kind of a foolproof business model. You take a game that's beloved by many thousands and you throw it in VR. I don't know what the process of that is on the developer side, but I know that there's some games that if they threw them into VR, I'd buy them in 5 seconds. So I think there's going to be a lot more ports coming, and I do hope that there is some game announcements, but I do think that the years coming forward are going to be crazy for VR games, because as developers figure out how to optimize their game for the Quest, and we get the Quest Pro next year, I believe is when it's coming out, and some of these other standalone headsets, Valve's working on a standalone. Everybody's pretty much going standalone at this point, making it into a console, right? With that, it's going to come, hardware limitations and, software limitations. But I think that developers are going to start getting really smart about this stuff. And we are going to start seeing some incredible VR titles like Alex coming in the next year to 2 years. And I think that bodes well for the VR industry, because a lot of people, and, I'm going to call out all my Quest followers and everybody that's running a Quest right here, you guys have no idea what it's like to set foot into a high-end PC VR title, because that is what the future of VR really is like. And a lot of these Quest titles, they do have significantly downgraded graphics and significant pullbacks in certain areas, where in the PC you can let it fly, and there's no doubt about it. So I think that's kind of the state of the VR game industry right now, what's going on with VR games in general, where we're at with them. It's what the hell is going on? Well, I just think we're in a slight pullback period, and it's going to come right back up. I definitely don't think VR is dead, and I'm sure there's plenty of YouTubers out there, not VR YouTubers, but other YouTubers that like to make a quick dollar on their videos saying, oh, VR had its pump, now it's dead, it's gone, nobody's into VR. Pick up a VR headset and tell me otherwise, buddy. That's what I want to say to them. Go put some hours into a PvP game and realize that you're basically playing a sport. You're no longer playing a video game. And then whenever you have that realization, you can come talk to me and tell me VR is not dead. Well, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys found some sort of value out of this thing. You know, not a ton going on when it comes to new games right now, so it's, you know, made it a little bit more difficult. You know, I got some game reviews coming up on some niche titles, but, you know, as far as it is, you know, there's no top 5 upcoming games or top 5 this or that. It's really, you know, we're in this weird period right now where there's not a ton going on. You know, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes when it comes to VR, but, you know, I could cover those things, you know, doesn't really matter. News and all that, it is what it is. So make sure you guys do drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.